Hey everybody, Ed Diaz here with Movement Mortgage, and I'm here with the very infamous Steve Shoen. And by the way, his slogan, get this, if it's shown, it's sold. So Steve, tell me, I mean, your reputation precedes you, my friend, but before we get into that, tell me a little bit of how you got this slogan.
Well, I was selling a home in Loma Verde, which is Novato, for actually a realtor from Canada. And he liked me, it went really smoothly, and he says, you know, when it's shown, it's sold. And I said, hey bro, I'm using that one. So I did.
Are you still paying him royalty checks?
Paying him the whole commission, and we're all squared away now.
Okay, good. Well, at least you got it out of the way from the very, very beginning. So as I mentioned, you know, briefly, I mean, your reputation precedes you. Fortunately, we have a lot of people in common, and everybody I talk to not only love you, but I mean, as far as real estate, especially here in Marin, I can honestly say that probably nobody knows real estate more than you do. So your reputation precedes you. Everybody I've talked to say, man, this guy knows his stuff. So tell me a little bit about how you got into the business, when you got into the business, and let's just kind of start there.
Okay. Well, first I have to tell you, my friend, I'm learning a lot about new technologies and promoting myself. You are the king.
I'm the king.
The king, baby.
The king.
No, it was, I think I was a failed rock and roller. And
Makes
like
sense.
most of us in Marin County, we are, and we got into real estate. So it started a long time ago. But my first experience, kind of a turning point in sales for me, Ed, was I was at the University of Wisconsin. I was selling encyclopedias door to door.
Wow.
And I had 50 doors slammed on my face. It was crushing, one after the other, slam, slam, slam. So it was about 6:30 at night. I remember I was on the curb and I was sobbing. I'd never been rejected before.
Right.
So I don't know why, but I got up off the curb and I knocked on the door in front of me, and
Number 51, by the way, if you're counting.
51, baby. No, and I said, you know, why has everyone slammed the door on me today? Everyone. He says, hey man, you know, everyone heard the pitch yesterday. Encyclopedia Britannica came over here, and we heard the same thing.
Yeah.
So the lesson for me was, every salesperson, I think, and you can verify this, has to go through the fire and get rejected, or at least be brave enough to get back and knock on that door. You agree?
100%. I mean, and you know what, by the way, you were actually lucky, because if you think about it, it only took 51 doors. You know how many people it takes them, like 501 doors? You know,
well, I'm not done yet.
Right, you're still knocking on doors. Persistence has always been the #1 key to success. I've always said, you know, hustle is more important than your IQ. And I've always also said that I'd rather be in the hustle game than in the IQ game, because you can be smart, and there's, you know, look, great ideas abound, right? Dime a dozen. But taking action and people actually finishing what they start, that is where you start to see the thinning, right?
Yeah.
Of the number of people.
And Churchill's great quote, never, never, never give up.
Give up. That's exactly
And I remember it was my first listing presentation way back in the day, and I remember I had this listing presentation, I still have it, it's funny, where I had Elmer glued all the black and white MLS listings, and I went to this seller in Mill Valley, and I finished, and he said, well, thank you very much, I've heard a couple people. He says, I'll get back to you. And I walked out, I got to my car, and I don't know how or why, but I had nothing to lose, and I went back and I knocked on his door, and I said, hey, I know I didn't get the listing, but what did you like about the other guy you're giving the listing to? And you know what he said? He said, I like the fact that he had a plan, a 30-step plan of everything he was going to do.
30-step plan.
Yeah, and
okay.
I from that fashioned what I call my smooth ride selling system from that, which I still use today. And it's all the steps from beginning to end, month by month, what I'm going to do, and communication. So that was number 2. Number 3, I remember, it was 1988, just around when you were born.
Right.
I met with this man, Roger, up on Crown Road in Kentfield, and we really hit it off. We liked each other. He said, Steve, I'm listing with you. And a week went by, and I see through MLS that he listed with somebody else.
Ooh,
and you know how that feels. So I was
not good.
I was going to write it off, but I picked up the phone. I said, Roger, it's me, Steve. I said, I have to to be honest. Maybe I was, swallowing the tears in my throat at the time. But I said, I'm really, really crushed. I'm very hurt by that. And he stopped. He probably said, well, would you like me to cancel the listing and list with you? I said, yeah, that's a good idea. So just because of the call and the fact that you get back on the horse and you don't quit, good things happen. And I remember 3 weeks later, I sold his home. I double-ended it, which means I found the buyer as well. And the lady who bought it, I sold her house. So it was the biggest check I had gotten up to that point. So there's your lesson for you. Just don't give up.
And here's the other interesting part of this story, just as a side here. I think sometimes also people will test the waters to see how persistent you are. When you own a home and you're going to list a property, I think in the minds of a lot of consumers, they know that there's literally thousands of agents out there. So I think that whether they mean to do it overtly or not, or it's just subconscious, they test the waters. And I think in this case, Steve, it was a test to see how bad did you really want to list their property. So what do? They go to the extreme of listing with another person. I think, here's just my little theory, I think they knew that you would call them. Because for somebody to say that quickly is almost a testament of the fact that they were testing the waters, and they knew that you would come back and that you would be that aggressive in getting them the best price for that house.
There you go.
And I think it just makes total sense. But sometimes people don't even realize that they're testing when they are.
So you've experienced that.
I've experienced it a bunch of times.
All of
And
us
and
have.
sometimes I've let my ego, quite frankly, get in the way, and I haven't made that call. But the times that I have, I've earned it, right? I've earned that person's respect. I've earned their business, and more importantly, I've earned the future relationship, which is really the business that we're both in. I mean, we've been in this business 100% referrals for a reason. Our business breathes based on referrals of people that we've gone out of our way to provide a great experience and to a great outcome. And so, it makes it for a great, not just business, but a great life, because
it does.
In our business, the lines between personal and business are often extremely blurry. Like right now, I mean, we're doing this video right now. You really wouldn't know. The person walking by really wouldn't know, what we do, and is this really just our YouTube channel? Are we talking about business? Are they talking about personal stuff? Are they motivators? Are they what? They really wouldn't know, and the lines are quite a bit blurred. Now, what do you think about real estate today? Here we are, 2017, kissing almost 2017 goodbye. It's September. What are your thoughts? What's been going on and what's going to happen?
I like you, I follow the trends, but before I forget, I just wanted to say, getting back to what we were talking about real quickly.
Yeah.
James Allen, in his book, As a Man Thinketh, he said something
book
that really hit me. He says, circumstances don't make the man, it reveals him to himself. It reveals him. So how we react is the whole thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you really want to get to know a person. Look, everybody is great and jovial at a party, but when times get tough, that's when you see people's true character. It's like money. People say, well, money builds character, adversity even builds character. No, it doesn't. In my opinion, it reveals it more so.
Exactly.
You get into, and we see it a lot, in transactions, because a lot of transactions aren't as smooth as we'd like them to be. Either because the other party or some kind of circumstance. It could have been an appraisal that went awry, or whatever the case may be. And the way people react is sometimes shocking, because if you're doing a deal, for example, for a friend, and you've always just seen them as a jovial person at every party and every barbecue, and then all of a sudden they get very irate about something, or they go off.
But you're a good communicator, and you want people to say, hey, I'm a little upset at this, and you can respond to that, rather than the silent, passive, I'm angry.
Or get overly angry and contribute to the fire. I think that emotion management, especially in real estate, is one of the key skills. And if you can control your emotions and you can be level-headed, I think that you're going to be very impressed by the results of the experience, as opposed to putting fire to something that really shouldn't have been put on fire.
Should be fire. And what you and I have learned is that, in fact, it happened yesterday. An agent came up to me and they said, someone's really, really upset. And what you and I do is, the first thing we say two words: I understand. They
Yes.
want to be acknowledged. They want to be heard. I
You want to
understand. And the second thing is, you say, "Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do," and that always seems to, like, you know, turn
calm
the
storms.
temperature down a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, getting back, you want to talk about trends a little bit, or
Yeah, well, first off,
wanna
tell me
talk?
what do you think about 2017, and is it been a different kind of year that you've seen, or has it been pretty much the same as the last, I don't know, 9 years? Because, you know, after 2008, you know, things started to come back, if you will.
Well, right. From 2010 to now, our market in the Bay Area and Marin it's increased 42%.
Is that the number?
Well, we went down 35%.
Yeah, but think about it. That's a 74% swing.
Yes, it
It's
has.
huge.
So my thought was, you know, this can't continue. We can't keep doing this. And I still feel that way. This year, it's been year over year, from last July, this July, August, it's been exactly the same. There's been hardly any change, maybe a little bit less.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Why does it feel different?
Well, what's changing right now, I'm glad you brought that up, is that I'm seeing across the board, we're seeing so many more price changes in the last 3 weeks. Sellers are like starting to lower the price, and I'm seeing it, which I haven't seen before. So I don't know if that's a portent of things to come. I have a feeling that come November, December, the political distress might, you know, the fog might clear a little bit, and then people will feel a little bit more confident to move forward. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I have a feeling that prices might be the same, but either way, as you know, in the mortgage business, it's always a good time to buy or sell. Why is that? Because if you have to take, as a seller, a lower price, you might get a haircut here, but you're going to get a haircut and shave the next place you go. It's going to even out.
So you take the haircuts with you.
Yeah, and for the buyer, you know, prices go down, mortgage rates may go up a little bit, but it's all about the same. So it always works. If a buyer can find a great home, go for it.
Yeah.
And by the way, call.